these days?
Well, I suppose...
Dr Jenny Harris, who's one of our
she's a
public
misery
health
as well.
said was don't socialise unless it's absolutely necessary.
Exactly.
We're not going to interfere in other people's lives and how they live them. That's exactly what the government's doing every single day. So why is it unreasonable for people like Therese Coffey, like Jenny Harris, saying actually there's an issue with socialising? Doctor and expert who was the first to identify this variant, who also said something which is simply another variant.
Well, the
Greece, they've introduced fines for the over 60s who don't be introduced next year. I feel like even though we're generally pro-vaccine as a country, Jackie, to make it an obligation with fines would be a step too far.
I agree with Quentin.
People who could not go and see people who were sick in hospital, who could not be with their families at Christmas, for somebody to then say, well, I was breaking the rules, it was all fine.
I think lots of people were. I'm not, Susanna, I'm completely...
every single day in their hundreds, we were trying to stop this virus
But what I'm saying to you is that
the Prime Minister, so why should anyone else...
I think it's across the whole official piece.
Those rules on social gatherings do not exist, and Dr Hillary, you might can still have Christmas parties. And last year, when we didn't have the same level of vaccination, and we were all told, do not do it, you absolutely mustn't have these social being held there in lockdown at number 10, and on another, we were in a tier system, which meant you could, and friends, to the enormous detriment of people's mental health, people's personal relationships, and people would have lost loved ones in that time.
And now...
And I think usually there's been enormous consent for these rules.
Exactly.
But when we start to muddy the waters and say, well, it's all right, nobody was following them. Actually, most people were following them.
I think we've had this message from Marie.
Experienced, restrictions and what that has meant. When people look at the Prime Minister in number 10 and think you introduced rules that meant that all of that happened, and you didn't foul of the rules, of course.
There was no mistletoe, though. You didn't need...
Major interview, Jackie. The fact that Matt Hancock might be pretty cross that parties were going on. He broke social distancing rules with one person. I felt the thing he said was, well, this is an awkward issue for you, isn't it, Sakir? Because you're having a Christmas party and you have an difference between an extra dose.
All they're doing is...
Hi there, good morning, Britain. It's just gone 6:30. A little bit of Jamie Cullum to get you in the mood first thing.
Not for a festive snog, Ben Shepherd.
But we're not allowed... Do you know,
when the government has told us...
Quentin Letts and Jackie Smith are in the studio. When you brought up the lack of snogging, the looks on their face for the many podcasts with her and Ian, because, quite frankly, it's one of the most riveting parts of it.
Daily stop being Christmas killjoys, ministers, because the Health Secretary has said take a test before parties. We discussed...
It's here with us. We'll get your thoughts on snogging under the...
Most Omicron coronavirus cases are mild. This is according to an official at the World Health Organization. We spoke efficacy of vaccines has been reduced by the new strain. Meanwhile, Quentin, the European...
Sure, with many of you who have been through this, said, I'm absolutely fuming with Boris and his partying. My father was in hospital from November the 18th. He went in for an overnight operation. He got an infection, then contracted COVID. So January 23rd, when he passed away, we were not allowed to see him through all of this time. On Boxing Day, the lovely nurses at Hale Hospital opened his curtains and we waved to him from outside the hospital grounds. He was laid in bed crying. This image will stay with me forever. And then it's revealed that the people that stopped us seeing him were having parties. I mean, that's...
Since he left office, let's have a listen to what he said.
Well...
Right, so on the one hand, you've got the personal throughout the programme. Dr Hillary, any other good... Still to come on the programme, he has worked with some of the biggest...
Back on form.
11 out of 11.
Absolutely sensational. Looking forward to meeting his niece in just a moment. You're watching Good Morning Britain on ITV.
See you in a moment. It's competition time now. Lines are closing tomorrow for our £100,000 prize.
And he's in the studio. That's how big it is.
Oh.
Good luck, good luck.
Let's take a look at the weather. Here's Laura. Good morning, Britain. It's just after 7 o'clock.
A cabinet minister has warned against snogging under the mistletoe, in her words, but said people should be able to enjoy themselves this Christmas. Work and Pensions Secretary Therese Coffey said partygoers should avoid kissing people they don't know as the number of Omicron cases in the UK rises.
Well, let's speak laughter.
Yeah, absolutely. OK, right.
Considering Dancing Ice will have seen that you had that potential.
Oh, no, I've still got it.
It won't be on ice skates either, though. Can you tell us how we can get £100,000, please?
Yes, because
Are you listening?
Well, we're all in need of a festive pick-me-up. So look no further than Jamie Cullum, who is guaranteed to get you into the Christmas spirit. He has a new album, The Piano Man at Christmas.
And he's here with us now. Love My House, and we put this on last night. And the boy making an album like this.
I loved making it. I'm singing 2 songs from The Piano Man at Christmas. I'm singing Sleigh Ride.
Tour.
I am next year.
What's Christmas Day like around at the Cullums?
Get everyone around the piano, and is there a kind of sing-song, or is it kind of like, look, it's my day off? It's
The music is beautiful. There is something very special about Christmas music, isn't there? What did you make this morning? We've just been interviewing the Minute 6, and now it's time for Lorraine. Not exist, and Dr. Hillary, you might have an issue with that. The fact of the matter is, currently, we can still have